Hey, this is Andrew Lim inviting you to go out on a limb. I'm here in my favorite city, Taipei, Taiwan, for a week. So just gonna go around and show you some of the things that I like to do. Actually, more importantly, some of the things that I like to eat. So come go on a limb with me and we will see what Taipei has to offer. Folks, before we start, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notify button for new content that I upload weekly. 谢谢. So guys, here in Taiwan, it's all about the breakfast, and this place behind me, Fuhang, used to be like in a really small rundown market, but they renovated and some idiot put them on an eating guide, and because of that they're really popular now with massive long lines, and I couldn't be bothered lining up just for it. So luckily across the street from it there is a Yonghe Doujiang, which is a chain which has really decent Taiwanese breakfast as well. So come check it out with me. Yeah, so definitely no Fuhang for me. But if you actually go to a Yonghe Doujiang, which actually they have it in multiple locations throughout Taipei, you see that this is a typical breakfast place in Taiwan. I mean, you have people, usually a staff that's been there forever, or the owner himself doing the fried curlers, or what you call the Chinese donuts. This is a must. It's actually really, really tasty, and usually you eat it with soy milk. And some places do eat it with almond milk. But this place is bustling in the morning, definitely, because this is a breakfast shop. You have people lining up to get a table or lining up to get takeout. And for those two who are waiting for a table, usually they give you an order list so you can mark down whatever you want first, so that when you sit down, you can actually eat your savory soy milk and sticky rice roll. This is my favorite, as well as some scallion pancake, which is the Taiwanese version, which is slightly different than the Chinese restaurants you'll find in here in America. And we have a hot chives or chives and eggs hot pocket, which it's really good as well, although it's a bit soft after sitting in this plastic bag for a while. Speaking of Taiwanese food, there is this traditional place called Zhuanyao, which actually it's like a throwback of Taipei in the 50s or the 60s. Here, when you go to the restaurant, you see that the core is really from the time where Taiwan was like the popular culture back in the 1950s and the 1960s. It's a really unique restaurant to really taste the typical Taiwanese dishes here in the city of Taipei. And in fact, the thing is, they actually have a sign to ask you to keep an eye out on customers taking all these memorabilia, because a lot have been stolen. But anyways, when it comes to the dishes, I love the poached chicken. So this is a typical Taiwanese dish as well, with some radishes on the side, as well as an oyster dish that's slightly coated and pan-fried, although you can't really see it from here, but it's a popular Taiwanese dish. And this Hakka stir fry as well, which is my favorite. It consists of cuttlefish, celery, as well as chives, all stir fried together with soy sauce. The braised pork or pork belly, it's really popular as well. This is a classic Taiwanese dish. I mean, look at the pork, it's so decadent. It's really, really good. And of course, you eat it with a bowl of rice. They call it you fan, which actually has several soy sauce in it, and you mix it up, mixed with sesame oil as well, and it's a really fragrant bowl of rice. The pork belly is actually braised to perfection. Look, it's still steaming hot, but it's really good. And in fact, a couple of people that were with me that were born in Taiwan, they actually thought this place really reminded them of their childhood when they were in Taiwan, with all the dishes that they serve here. So Zhuanyao is a place to come if you want some nostalgia. When it comes to, if you want a place with Taiwanese dishes that's more upscale, you should actually consider mee pong. Mee pong sounds Japanese, but it's actually not a Japanese name. It actually stands for fragrant rice in Taiwanese. And here you can get, classic Taiwanese dishes as well, all prepared by, a restaurant that was awarded one Michelin star back in 2021. Here you have actually some drunken chicken, some calamari as well, and eggs are everything to Taiwanese. And here you actually have an oyster omelette, which is also a dish that you can actually find in Malaysia as well. Here in Taiwan, people do love their oysters served in an omelette, and it's actually not for breakfast. It's actually for main meal, lunch, or dinner. And it's actually really good. I have to say, I'm kind of biased. I think the Malaysian one is better because it's a bit drier. But here at Mi Pong, they actually do a really good version of the oyster omelette as well. Speaking of omelette, there's also another omelette, and this one has dried radish in it, dried pickled radish in it. Like I told you, Taiwanese love their eggs. And here, you don't eat this for breakfast as well. You eat this for lunch or dinner. It's another omelette dish that's really tasty. And Taiwanese love their cabbage as well. And they actually do a really good version of the classic Taiwanese stir-fry cabbage here at Mi Pong. 3 cups chicken is a classic dish in Taiwan, consisting of soy sauce, sesame oil, and Chinese rice wine. And of course, they serve it at Mi Pong as well, and it's actually done really well. And they also have a good pork liver dish if you are into internal organs. And this one was actually fried, and the driedness level is just perfect. We liked it. This dish is actually a rice noodle dish with sesame oil as well as fish. The fried fillet, the fish was actually fried and then put in soup, and it was actually really tasty. Not to mention that there are chunks of taro in it as well. You call yam, I call taro. It's just a really tasty dish, and it's a classic Taiwanese dish as well. Great for winter. And here, this fried spare ribs made with black dates is what won them the Michelin star. It's really tasty with some sesame on top. I think a lot of people will actually like this dish. And of course, for dessert, I went with a simple bowl of almond milk with some fried curlers. Usually, fried curlers I eat with soy milk, but here they actually serve it with almond milk, and you dunk it in. And it's actually really tasty. I know some people will find this weird, but I really like how I, ended the meal this way. It's just, a great way to actually eat almond milk. If you're actually sick of eating meat in Taiwan, worry not. There's actually many vegetarian restaurants. Here, one of them is called Fruitful Food Restaurant, which has an amazing buffet. This has a few locations here in Taiwan. The one that I visited is actually the biggest. The dining room is really busy, seats about 300 people. They serve lunch and dinner, and the price, believe it or not, it's only about $22 to $25 per head. I know, with all this food. You have sushi, of course, all vegetarian. You have all the greens that you want. I know Westerners, after a while, after eating all the cooked vegetables, they actually miss eating raw vegetables. Kind of like, feel like, miss being a cow, I think. Just kidding. I love salad too. But here you actually have a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, fresh fruits. One thing I like about this place is, they'd actually use those glutinous stuff to make like mock, chicken, mock duck that's actually high in sodium. It's all fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. And of course, with the drink, I really love this tea mixed with soy milk. It's a really tasty drink. Someone should actually package this and put in a can. I kid you not. When it comes to the buffet selection is on 2 sides of the restaurant. Here you actually have your desserts and you have your appetizers. And if you walk through the dining area, as you can see, it's really big, but it's spacious. Regardless of having too many tables, you never feel closed in. You actually have space to walk around with your 5 plates of food. Some people actually do that, but here if you walk to the other end, you have a section of your entree dishes as well, and some that you can actually make to order. So I really like this buffet restaurant. You should actually come here if you decide to want to eat healthy and not eat meat for a day. Taiwan, or in fact Taipei in particular, is definitely a place to do it. And when it comes to food, there's actually Western style, like this, soup prepared the French way. You also have, your classic Taiwanese dishes like you fan, which is a kind of like a sticky rice base prepared with soy sauce. And of course, you actually have your hand roll as well. And this one was actually done with uni, and of course, it's vegetarian uni made with a pumpkin paste. And you also have, what looks like a shiitake mushroom, but when you tear it open, it's a sesame bun. I know. It's simply mind-blowing. Among the clienteles here you can include the Buddhist monks. Yep, they actually come here to eat because it agrees with their diet, and who does not love healthy and tasty food. So all in all, Taiwan is a place, or Taipei is a place that you can actually eat really well. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to report to you eating at the mother ship of soup dumplings, Ding Tai Fung. In fact, I actually went to the original location, not exactly the original, because that one is only available now for takeout, but diagonally across the street from it, they bought a new building, and they actually now run a much bigger restaurant for customers to enjoy the amazing soup dumplings. And so I'm going to do this in my next upload. Hope you watch.